the street.
Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Time for some football takes. It's our little non-Vikings playground here. NFL Takes edition of Purple Daily. We will have a couple fun things after we sling some takes here. We've got a new batch of tiers. Dex puts 32 teams in tiers. That's T-I-E-R-S, and some of them T-E-A-R-S.
You never know with my spelling. You never know. It could be all of them.
Well, it
For
could be
Vikings
spelling
fans,
too. Yeah.
Could be both. Yes, exactly.
For Vikings
Vikings
fans,
yeah.
it might be tears streaming down your face.
And then I have a fun exercise that I'd love for us to run through here now that we're about halfway through the season. But, Judd, why don't you lead off here? Give us an NFL take.
Okay. My NFL take involves two former Vikings quarterbacks of recent vintage, and I will just call this the path to victory is possible through means that Kevin O'Connell does not explore. All right? Let me give you, first of all, Seattle's 44-22 trouncing of the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. And now you're saying, okay, Sports Dad, I haven't looked at the box score yet, but Sam Darnold, 350 yards, airing the ball out. It was like Air Coryell. And I'm here to tell you that didn't happen. Sam Darnold was 10 of 12 for 178 yards with a touchdown and a pick. And the Seahawks rushed the ball 46 times in a 44-22 win. Okay? And you're like, oh, wow, path to victory. That's possible. And I'm going to tell you yes. Well, then let's go across the pond. Let's go to Germany.
Well, can I just for a second? When you're up 35 rip, you're going to run the football. So it wasn't like they, just to defend a little bit here.
Right,
like,
but
they're running because they're ahead 14-0, 21-0, 28-0, right?
Okay, but they still what I'm saying is they still played they had a sensible plan.
Sure.
They had a sensible plan. But okay, if you say au contraire on that one, I'll give you another one. Go across the pond to Germany. Atlanta and Indianapolis go to OT. Colts win. Jonathan Taylor, fantastic season. A great season. Kudos to him. He's a great player. 31-25, the Colts win. And now you're like, okay, Daniel Jones, that's a close game. Must have been airing the ball out a little bit, right? Huh? No. 19-26, 255 yards, a very nice day. A touchdown and a pick. And the Colts, in a game that was close, ran the ball 41 times. So let's take the Darnold and Jones games combined, two football games, different flavors, both wins for the former Vikings QBs. Let's take them, combine them, and look at the total amount of throws and rushes. The total amount of throws between Darnold and Jones was 38. The total amount of rushes between the Seahawks and the Colts was 87. Okay, now let's go closer to home. In fact, not far from me, probably a 15-minute jaunt to U.S. Bank Stadium, where J.J. McCarthy threw four more passes than his two former teammates combined, and the Vikings ran the ball 18 times in a 27-19 loss.
Oh.
So I'm giving you all types of different flavors of football games, but I'm telling you that it is interesting that Darnold and Jones threw the ball less combined on Sunday than J.J. McCarthy did. Different path to victory.
Wow. Yeah, I think point taken for sure that you are allowed to just like pound the rock in a football game relentlessly. It also on the Seahawks front, I mean, if you take a little early lead, you start to lean on them. But there's been a lot of times where the Vikings take an early lead
and don't lean on them,
or have a second half lead.
Correct.
And they have a chance to lean on a team, and they don't lean on a team.
Correct.
But yeah, that's how you. I think Darnold is emerging into a position where he actually can kind of shoulder the load for an offense more. Like Daniel Jones, you got to be a little careful there. Mm-hmm. But it's incredible. Those two guys with the right infrastructure, a little running game, are in the MVP discussion, man. So Daniel Jones leads the NFL in passing yards this year. In part because play action, threat of Jonathan Taylor, offensive line, all those things.
Absolutely.
And Sam Darnold leads in yards per attempt, QBR. He leads in yards per catch, 14 yards per catch off Sam Darnold's throws so far this year. And a lot of it is it's very much marrying run game, passing game. So, by the way, you know who's second in yards per game? Well, actually, so Matthew Stafford's first. Daniel Jones is third in yards per game. Mac Jones is second right now. And George Kittle, I think it was after they lost yesterday, but George Kittle was asked, "Did you think Mac Jones is going to be this good?" He's like, "Nope, I didn't." Because now I see why he was a former first-round pick.
I love George Kittle.
He is
So
brutally
he's
honest.
hilarious, man. He's like a professional wrestler who plays tight
WWE
end
stud.
in the NFL. But yeah, that would be the Seahawks, who are coming up on the Viking schedule in a few weeks here. They have become a sneaky force. Like,
Right.
I know that you are eliminating them altogether because of who their quarterback is for winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But playing at home, if they win that division, the Rams are going to have something to say about that division too. But that is a scary defense, very athletic defense. They do commit to the run, and they hit deep passes down the field. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba is on pace to flirt with the all-time receiving yards record this year.
John Schneider might be the executive of the year. Like, if you look at the trades that he made and who he sent out and who he brought in, he had a really, really good offseason.
Yeah, how about them too? I mean, for 10 years, and they won a Super Bowl, their franchise pillars were Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, with that defense, the Legion of Boom that I think led the league in scoring defense like 4 consecutive years, and then Marshawn Lynch, and you pivot off all those things, and you find a really good head coach. You find, at least for now, a really good high-end quarterback. I mean, Sam Darnold is about what Russell Wilson was at his peak, which is a pretty athletic dude who can throw the ball way down the field and hit home runs.
That's rad.
And then hand it off once.
Broncos
in a while.
country.
That's rad.
Is he doing that for Giants? Did he ever have a catchphrase for the Giants?
I
don't think
hope not.
So. All right, Vikings fans are going to hate to hear this, but my take is the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams are absolutely here, I think, for the long haul. It's possible that I was wrong about Ben Johnson back in the spring, early summer. That team has juice. That team is firmly in the playoff hunt. And Caleb Williams, even though that got really rickety, they were down by 10 points with like 4 minutes to go. And people were mad. He's playing off script again. All right, he's still only in his second year. But he now has, Caleb Williams and the Bears, 4 fourth-quarter comebacks this season, all in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And again, yesterday, he takes 0 sacks. So he has cut that sack rate from 11% last year, which was, I think, the worst in the league or close to it, to 4% this year. And the Bears, fueled by these fourth quarter comebacks, have now won 6 of their last 7 games. And they are still in the mix for that division here. We'll see what happens when they play a beleaguered Vikings team, but this coming weekend. But yeah, this is kind of the worst nightmare for the other 3 teams in the NFC North, that the Bears are finally figuring out offensive football and have a quarterback that can carry some things at the end of a game.
Yeah, I think their Achilles, when it gets to be nut cutting time, it might be that defense, but they'll get that fixed eventually. I just don't know that they're going to get it fixed for this season. But yeah, Ben Johnson, if he's done a great job, so it's hard. Some of his tendencies are so weird, like his coaching demeanor and things like that. But it seems to have been effective. And my guess is that Caleb does need tough love. So it makes sense that it's working a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Dax?
Yeah, my NFL take is it's delicious watching this erode. I am referencing Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So gets off to a nice start. And look, I think there is maybe still a case. Would Aaron Rodgers be playing better in this system than J.J. McCarthy? And I think we can probably say statistically for sure, yes. And are the Vikings better with him as their starting quarterback? That's a different conversation. However, Steelers have now lost 3 of their last 4 games. Yesterday, Mike Tomlin kind of melting down a little bit at the podium. Hey, how would you assess Aaron's performance tonight? How would you? Next. So watching the Steelers, who definitely looked, like, don't get me wrong, they looked a little bit fraudulent too, even when they got off to the 4-1 start. but they've lost now the Chargers, the Packers. They got their butts kicked in Seattle earlier this year too, or actually at home against Seattle. But regardless, they've lost to some pretty good teams. So watching the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers' career kind of maybe not be what it was supposed to be, and watching him maybe even sabotage another organization on the way out, I'm kind of here for it as an outsider and as someone who watched Aaron Rodgers terrorized the Vikings defense for a decade.
Yeah.
He always seems adamant with his body language, too, that it's everybody else's fault except for his all the time. And he'll say something maybe different at the podium, but in the moment, he's just like so cantankerous and impossible to be around.
I will entertain, if you want to talk about Darnold coming back and what that might have meant and the success potentially of the 2025 Vikings with him back, I'll entertain it. Daniel Jones, I will entertain as well. I do not want to hear again that the Vikings could have had Aaron. And by the way, I believe the Aaron Rodgers-O'Connell marriage, unless O'Connell totally caved, would have been a disaster. Look at what O'Connell wants.
Interesting.
Aaron Rodgers in his prime would have been brilliant with O'Connell. But look at the depth of throws. Look at his game now. Can you imagine if Kevin O'Connell was calling the games for Rodgers that he is calling for McCarthy and wouldn't budge? Yeah. I think it would have been an absolute disaster.
Boy, that would have been a fun sort of alternate scenario. I say fun, sadistically.
Right, sadistic, yeah.
Just to see what it looked like. But, yeah, I mean, Kevin probably would have had to, even like some of the, Rodgers hates like pre-snap motions, stuff like that. He's kind of old school in that regard. You have to, all right, you have to kind of kowtow to him. Can I go back to Judd's first take for a second here? I just looked this up just for fun.
Yeah.
On the 40 rushing attempts. Mm-hmm. I brought the number down to 35. 40 is a pretty big number, but just so 35 rushing attempts in a game since the beginning of 2022, which is when Kevin O'Connell got hired. Mm-hmm. The Minnesota Vikings have had only 3 games since 2022 of 35 or more rushing attempts in a game. The only team with fewer, the Bengals, who had one in 2022. They also have Joe Burrow as a quarterback, and so, yeah, they're going to throw the ball.
Zach Taylor, same, yeah.
Yep.
Same
this
tree.
comes from the same tree.
Same tree, yeah.
100%. At the top of that list, Philadelphia, Baltimore, obviously, with their running quarterbacks, their RPO systems. But Philadelphia has had 26 different games where they run the ball 35 times or more. Baltimore, 22. Atlanta, 19. Chicago, 17. Half the league has done it double-digit times. So to not even stumble your way into, with some of the leads they've had, too, in a 14-win season, a 13-win season, they weren't blowing teams out all the time, but that's an incredible little factoid, I feel like, just not wanting to pound the rock.
Do you have access to those, what the 3 games were?
I do. Games list. Let me clickety-click.
I'd be very curious to know what the games were.
Okay. All of them on the road.
Okay.
So the most recent one was week 9 at Jacksonville last year when Sam Darnold went blue screen of death.
Couldn't hit the side of a barn. Yeah, broadside of a barn.
They ran the ball 43 times for $169. They just said, let's just get out of here with a 12-7 victory. 2023, November 19th at Denver. That was the
TJ Hawkinson lined up as the quarterback, right?
It was a Josh Dobbs game.
Yeah, see? Josh Dobbs. He had no choice.
Josh Dobbs game.
Yep.
And then the previous season, January 8th, week 17 or week 18, the final game of the year at the Bears, 38 rushes for 141 yards.
Bad weather.
So it would have been, let's see here. Yeah, temperature-wise, they have all this information. It's kind of funny. So you're playing at Chicago. It's 32 degrees.
Wind, though. The wind gusts.
And Kirk Cousins played part of that game because it was, it was 2022 season.
Yeah,
you made the playoffs. And then Nick Mullins finished it. And so I think they just decided it was kind of a throwaway game. Let's not. So it was like extreme circumstances in all 3.
Right.
So one of Sam Darnold's least accurate blue screen of death games of his career, Josh Dobbs, and a throwaway week 18 game that.
So he's never done it by his own accord.
No.
Like he's had to do it.
Oh man,
That's really
amazing.
interesting.
Okay, let's do Dex's tiers first, and
Sure.
then I have a fun exercise for you guys afterwards. 32 teams in tiers.
Oh yeah. By the way, looks like for Sunday, the Vikings and Bears game will get the A team on Fox.
Oh,
Brady,
Tommy
Burkhardt,
B
Andrews, Rinaldi,
and Moose.
not Moose. Stay far away.
So are they not sending? So Fox must not have the double dip that day. Their schedule must not be great.
They don't have a great like late afternoon game or
Yeah,
something.
the national game at 3:00 or whatever it is.
They alternate that, right? The
Yes.
featured CBS.
I think
Fox.
CBS gets it, and then Fox gets it.
Let's see,
'Cause, I
week
mean-
11, the 3:30 slot, because we do have the Spain game, right? The Jets and the or is that Spain? No, yeah, it's Commanders. Commanders without Jaden Daniels and Dolphins in Madrid at 8:30 a.m.
could
On
be
Fox?
home, could be in my backyard. I don't think I'm going to watch that game. So yeah.
Is Kenny going?
I don't know. Are they sending him?
How would
Maybe?
Kenny sound in Spain, Phil?
Oh man! Hola, amigos. I can't. I gotta work on that one. I gotta work on that one. It's the Ravens and the Browns. Hola, amigos. On Fox.
All right, Zesty Dex for Week 10 of the NFL. Here's your tiers. I'm going to give you like a couple chunks at a time. I'll also move this along a little bit. Super Bowl favorites and good, not great. These are two tiers that are separated. In the Super Bowl favorites, we have the Rams, the Eagles, the Chiefs. I'm putting the Patriots in. I know
Wow.
I'm putting the Patriots in. I think this team looks damn good, guys. I love Mike
do.
Vrabel. Love what he's able to do. Drake May has been awesome. I'm going to loop them in. I know it's a little premature to even put them ahead of teams maybe like Detroit and Tampa, who have, been to playoffs the last few years. In Detroit's case, they've knocked on the Super Bowl door. I'm putting the Patriots. I'm buying this stock. I'm going to loop them in with the Super Bowl favorites. And then in the good, not great tier, I have the Bucks, the Colts, and the Lions. Good teams, probably going to be in the mix, maybe in the final four of their respective conferences. I do not have them, though, on the same level as the Rams, the Eagles, the Chiefs, who I know have got off to a bad start, or off to a poor start, have rebounded here, and it's hard to discredit Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, so there's some bias in there, and the Patriots, so I'm both separated here.
The Patriots at 8-2 and still one of the weakest schedules remaining in the NFL are absolutely in line to host the AFC playoffs right now.
Yeah, man.
It is a possibility that the Patriots, with their weak schedule, because there's a lot of on their schedule still, a lot of Jets. They have not played the Jets yet. They get the Jets twice between now and the end of the year. So, man, those Patriots fans, long suffering. It's been 5 minutes since they had a 20-year dynasty. Thank God they're all back. And
Yeah.
top of the
I think the
mountain here.
Patriots might. I think the Patriots are good, and it's a great story. And Drake May's fantastic. They might be a year away from me putting them there at this point.
But isn't it kind of just depressing and devastating that they can have the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL, and then, okay, those pieces start to age out and topple, and Belichick gone and Brady gone, and okay, we got to start over again. And then like 5 years later, they once again nailed the coach. They nailed the quarterback. They've got cap space to add pieces.
Boston sports fans can buzz off as far as I'm concerned. Oh, it's been really tough for the last 5 years. Bleep you.
So tough.
All right, so the next portion of tiers here, I'll start from the top and work to the way bottom. It's a run or one and done. And there's two teams in here. I have San Francisco and I have Seattle. And I understand the Seattle disrespect is probably more palpable. And I could have certainly put Seattle in the good, not great tier. But I have a little bit of, I don't have the full body in the deep end with Judd on Sam Darnold. I think Darnold has morphed into a very effective, good quarterback. And I'm not going to completely just say he will melt in the postseason, even though the two games that ended here in Minnesota did not leave a good taste in my mouth. I could see them going on a run. I can also see them maybe just being a one-and-done team if Sam Darnold, the real Sam Darnold maybe shows back up. And in San Francisco's case, I guess why I have them looped with Seattle in this category is maybe Purdy comes back, but they're banged up as hell. it kind of feels like they maybe missed the window. Are they entering maybe a rebuilding phase? Maybe they sneak in as a wild card and they go on, maybe another miraculous run, or maybe they're just, they get bounced as a wild card team in that first round of the playoffs. So I have them in a run or one and done tier.
Okay, when Declan said the real Sam Darnold, and I feel like I've heard Judd say that too, that like, when's the real Sam Darnold going to show up? I feel like the version of Sam Darnold we've now seen for it's 17 games last year plus a playoff game, which he was bad in. But so I'm just looking at the regular season, 17 and then 9. It's 26 games of Sam Darnold, age 27, 28. This is who he was supposed to be from the get-go if he wasn't held hostage by the Jets for a few years, notoriously a terrible franchise. So I just feel like Darnold is much closer to being a huge mistake for the Vikings than a guy that automatically is going to soil himself in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
I need to see him under the spotlight.
Well, you're going to.
And just thrive.
And the Vikings are going to be watching on TV from their couches while he
Yep. But I mean,
shows you that.
I need to see it. The collapse was so bad that I need to. And if he proves it, good for Sam. If he doesn't, I'm going to take a couple bows on the show and be done with it.
Walk away.
Can't just root for a guy. He is per 17 games regular season. The last 2 years, if you take the 26 games and turn into a 17-game average, he is averaging a 107 passer rating with 68% completions, 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Maybe he derails in the playoffs, but man, Seattle is pretty loaded up and down.
Or he doesn't, and then we can say, what was Kevin O'Connell doing?
Well, either way. And then the effective frauds.
Well, yeah, I didn't even get to the getting hot, but the getting hot tier, which is the sandwich between the two, the Ravens, the Bears, the Chargers, all teams that are looking like maybe they're turning a corner here and they're in a good spot. But yeah, the effective frauds tier. So teams that either have decent above 500 records, good personnel, but maybe flawed, maybe effective flawed teams. I frauds is probably too strong, but the Broncos, oh god, that was a just disgusting display on Thursday despite the win. The Bills, yes, Josh Allen, you can't count him out, but man, it doesn't feel as good as it's been in the years past with him. The Steelers, who we talked about, and then I have the Packers too. Man, you talk about a polar opposite of two extremes. At one side, they maybe look like maybe the best team in the NFC, and then at other times they've just been, pretty boring. So I have them looped in this effective fraud tier of those four teams.
On the Ravens, I'm calling my shot here a little bit, but the Ravens are closer to being in the top tier than where they are right now by the end of the year. I know right now you have to do what you have to do because they're 4 and 5 still.
For sure. No,
but the Ravens offensively, Lamar is one of the best passing quarterbacks in the league. Derrick Henry still has some Derrick Henryness to him. That offense, I mean, you saw it up close yesterday.
The defense.
And their defense, the last month, just like they did a year ago, their defense has been awesome for the most part since the first week in October. And they are absolutely winning that division. So they're going to host a playoff game in Baltimore, even if it's like a 10-win Baltimore team. So be on the lookout.
And they play textbook playoff football. I mean, it's textbook. Pound the rock, second half. Henry gets 3 yards here. Suddenly gets 15 yards. How sick to his stomach do you guys think Brian Flores was watching the Ravens use safety Kyle Hamilton, who could have been a Viking, I mean, that dude was on the line of scrimmage. He was doing everything that Flores does, but he's young and he's really good. If I was Flores, I would have puked right there on the sideline.
Yeah. Bah. And who knows what he would have said, because they made that draft pick when Donatel was still the coordinator.
But
would Flores have stepped in if he was the coordinator and said, "No, we're sticking at 12 here if we're going to do anything"?
Yep.
All right, then the last two tiers, the stuck in the middle tier, which has the Falcons, the Vikings, Commanders, Panthers, Texans, Cowboys, Jags. I think all of these teams, I mean, some of these teams still might maybe sneak in as a playoff team, but there's a line in the sand drawn from all the other teams above them, especially like in the good not great, and teams that might be able to go on a run. And then I have a stinky tier, which just has the Browns, the Giants, the Titans, the Bengals, the Jets, the Dolphins, who have now won 2 in a row, but I still think you're stinky. The Saints, Tyler Shook, look like you might be okay, but they're still stinky. And the Raiders and the Cardinals. So a lot of teams in the stinky tier. Maybe still too many teams in the stinky tier. But I think we all know that all of these teams are almost certified lock to be picking in the top 10 even this early. Still in the NFL, or halfway through, I should say, the NFL season.
When does Joe? So the Bengals are only a game back in the division. Is Joe Burrow coming back?
December, possibly. I don't know if that's still out there.
It was a full turf toe tear. That's hard to say. 10
and they said maybe initially they said December at the earliest. It might be the season, but they didn't seem to know for sure. And I don't know if there's been an update on that. And I'm sure that the Bengals are not providing one.
It looks like I'm just looking at here's Yahoo. There's some speculation about like mid-December. Okay, I was thinking because if they could just kind of hang around with Joe Flacco there and get Burrow back, but it's probably gonna be tough. So all right, Dex's tiers off of that, and we can maybe do this closer to the end of the season too. I'd love to challenge you guys to an NFL contender draft right now. So let's do a snake draft. We'll give Judd the number 1 pick. We'll seniority. Seniority. So Judd number 1, I'm second oldest. Dex, you get the wraparound.
Okay.
Let's do a 3-round NFL contender mock draft.
Okay. So
for
3 teams.
for winning the Super Bowl. Or should we do 4 rounds? Is that too long?
No, I think 3 because yeah, personally. Judd, are you good with that?
Oh yeah, I'm fine with whatever. I'm prepared. So I'm a man. I'm prepared.
Okay. So Judd, let's just draft. This is kind of impromptu here. Super Bowl contenders right now in the NFL through the first 10 weeks. Obviously Monday Night Football pending, which is a big game. It's Eagles and Packers. We'll see what that looks like.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
Who's your number 1 Super Bowl contender right now?
So this is going to sound weird, but I'm still going to stick with the Chiefs.
It's not weird. They're a dynasty.
5-4 though, and it's been such a weird year here. To Dex's point about the Bills and where he's got them, it was very odd to me that one of the things Bills players were talking about after they lost to the woeful Dolphins was they wanted it more than we did. Mm-hmm. Like, where's that coming from? Like,
there's some. Are they just like bored in the regular season now?
I don't know, but I mean, you can't pick and choose. I don't think you can pick and choose, and then the playoffs start and you like flip a switch. I think that's a very dangerous way to live. But anyway, I will take the Chiefs.
I feel like they're like when you play a video game so many times, you keep getting beat toward the end of the game, and then you have to start over. You're like, oh my God, I have to go through like 10 levels again just to get to Bowser's Castle, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I don't play those games.
It's just you kind of bored on level 3, and that's what the Bills are at.
All right.
Okay, I will give me the Rams.
Okay.
It's a good one.
I'll take the Rams. They just keep beating the brakes off teams.
Yep.
Great pass rush. Great quarterback. Congrats to Matthew Stafford on finally getting his career record to 500 after all those
oh my God, did he really?
Crappy years with the Lions.
I didn't see that. That's great.
Yep. All right, Dex, you're going to get the wraparound here.
Yes. All right. I will take the Eagles with my first pick.
Okay.
Every time we count them out, they just continue to be here. Nick Sirianni, you might think he's a buffoon. They've been to multiple Super Bowls in 3 years. They won it last year. It's the rare time, though, where both of the... I wonder if this has been the case. So, obviously, the Chiefs and Eagles were in the Super Bowl last year, and they still have the 2 best odds to win the Super Bowl on FanDuel right now for next season. Usually, there's always a Super Bowl hangover between one of the 2 teams, and that's not to say one of these 2 teams either might stumble a little bit by the end of the year or could be one and done in the playoffs. No. But I can't remember the last time we're halfway through with the season and the next year the 2 Super Bowl teams are still regarded as the Super Bowl favorites. Usually there's a big hangover there. But I will take the Eagles with my first pick.
The parity's so high. I think the problem is it's really hard. There's not like a non-Super Bowl team from last year that I think that you can definitively just say, okay, this team is pulled away and they're great. So I think it's partially a default thing by the odds makers because there's not like one team that has struck you as, okay, this team looks like they're going to win a Super Bowl and dethrone either the teams that were in the game last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'll reach for him. I'll reach for him. Give me the Patriots.
Wow.
Give me the Pats. Give me the reach. Give me the Pats. Give me the Patriots.
You got the big cojones. You got the 6'7" too.
I'm
I
gonna reach-
mean,
I'm gonna reach
if
for 'em.
they get home field, because it is in play that they get a bye in the first round and then host 2 games in the AFC playoff bracket. That is 100% in play.
They make me ill.
I do feel bad for those suffering Boston.
Yeah, it's
fans.
really, really tough.
Okay, I got the 5th pick here. Oh man, so many juicy teams here.
Do it. Take your guy.
Do I go?
Take your quarterback.
Yeah,
Just do it.
just do it.
No, I'm not. I'm not quite there with my quarterback. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my coach. Give me the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Give me the Chargers.
Whoa.
Joe Alt's going to come back at some
Whoa.
point.
Let's
The
see
Chargers.
here. The
up?
Patriots and I was looking at because I have like Super Bowl odds pulled up as I'm also doing this too. The Patriots are plus 2,200 to win the Super Bowl, 1 spot ahead of the Chargers plus 2,500
Yeah.
to win the Super Bowl.
Chargers right now are a game and a half up on the Chiefs in their division, but a game behind the Broncos. So they got to catch the Broncos. But with a bunch of injuries, 3rd running back, they're just grinding. Culture, Jim Harbaugh, building, chipping away. Give me the Chargers.
The Chargers.
All right, Judd, you got the wraparound here.
Okay, you know what? I always talk about this. Playoff football. Who plays playoff football? Who do I think is going to get on cold weather, just grinding it out on grass or a hybrid turf field, getting grimy, getting dirty, playing tough? I'm going to take the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Ravens. What I saw yesterday brought a tear to my eye because I said, that I know that.
Well, in more ways than one, but yes.
I know that.
What's
That's
funny
playoff
about this
football.
is here's what's funny about this.
Yeah.
You are out on Sam Darnold as a playoff quarterback after 1 bad playoff game, and you gleefully run to the podium to draft one of the all-time playoff collapsing quarterbacks of our generation, Lamar Jackson. You've seen more sample of Lamar failing and throwing bad interceptions.
I told you this
and
last
failing.
week. My problem is I saw Lamar has, let's go back a year. Last season, Mark Andrews drops a pass or they win. I didn't see
Well, maybe
Sam,
one of those Vikings receivers could have jumped a little higher once in a while.
I
huh?
didn't see Sam do anything in those last 2 games where I'm like, oh, if only so, because he played so well. Until I see Sam uncollapse. With Lamar, I wouldn't blame him completely. And plus, there's ways. I mean, the Ravens do play a style of football that should translate to a playoff run and
You
perhaps
think so?
a Super Bowl.
For 6
So,
years they have. But
I'm going to go with the Ravens. You say what you want. I'm sticking with another Harbaugh, and I'm going to go. All right, so now I got the next pick. Boy, do I go with an upstart? I could go with an upstart, or I could go with an old reliable.
What's
You
he
know
gonna
what?
do, folks? What's he
You know,
gonna
yeah,
do?
it's a tough decision. But I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks.
Wow!
I'm going to go with
let's
Baker
go.
Mayfield and the Bucks. I heard Baker at the podium, and I loved it.
Gotta get
yesterday.
healthy, but yeah.
He said, this loss should piss us off. He said, there's a lot of season to go. There's a lot of big games left. But if this loss doesn't hurt you, then I basically don't want you as a teammate. The man has emerged, not just as a really good QB, but sort of his brashness now completely works. I love it. So I'm going to go with the Bucks. I'm not totally sold, but what the hell? I'm going to go outside the box.
What the hell?
The boldness here. All right. I have to take the Bills. I have to take the Bills here. This is it's a value
Yep,
pick.
Great value pick. I was going to take him. He didn't.
They would have been so much higher on this before that loss yesterday. So I'm gonna buy low, get some value here on the Bills for my last pick in the Super Bowl contender draft, and that puts Declan back on the clock. And there are some juicy options here.
Yeah, give me the Lions. It's same philosophy now
Yeah.
as Phil's. I was able to now sneak them in. The Lions have the 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl, and I got them at 9. And I know we're not necessarily just looking at odds of Super Bowl teams, but if I can get them with the last pick here, and if they win the North and maybe even get a second home playoff game, I know they lost last year to a rookie quarterback at home. in the playoffs, but I'll take the Lions as my value pick there at the end.
Wow. That leaves, in terms of undrafted free agents here, the Colts, who've been the best team in the league statistically through the first half of the season. The Seahawks, who we've talked about a bunch on this episode.
I'm shocked they were left.
The Packers, who at one point I think were the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl until they lost at home to the Panthers. The 8-2 Broncos.
Yeah,
No love.
not there yet.
The 6-3 Bears.
No.
No, the Bears aren't on my list.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet with the
The
Bears.
4-5 Vikings.
That defense is going to get them in big trouble.
None of us picked the Seahawks, Packers, and Colts, who all were the best playoff Super Bowl odd teams. All of them plus 1,000. We took teams, multiple
Wow.
teams beneath them.
All of them leading their divisions.
Yeah.
Bold move by us.
I mean, you had a chance to take your guy Sam Darnold. You didn't take him.
If we went a fourth round here, Dex would get the next pick. Who would your pick be right now?
Probably Seattle.
And then
Seattle
I'd
or
take the
Green Bay.
Colts.
Seattle
I'll
or
take the
Green Bay.
Colts there. And then that would leave Judd with either Green Bay or some other alternative. The Cowboys.
Oh yeah, the
staying away
Cowboys.
from
The Cowboys.
I'm staying away from the Colts.
So, wow, there it is. Okay. Some football takes for you here. Purple Daily, NFL takes every single week. Just lamenting all these quarterbacks. They're lighting up the NFL while the Vikings sit here and put too much on a young guy's plate. But enough about that. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow on the State of the Vikings episode of Purple Daily and next week on NFL Takes.